So, start na ulit. Policy versus law. So, doon pa rin tayo sa policy versus law. May 5 criteria para yung policy enforceable yung isang policy. Una, dissemination or distribution. The organization must be able to demonstrate the relevant policy has been made readily available for review of the employee. Common dissemination techniques includes hard copy and electronic distribution. Katulad nung sa school handbook na pinamimigay pag mga new students, yan, para alam kung ano yung kailangan na kailangan na susunod ng isang estudyante pag nasa eskwelahan siya. Kunwari yung complete proper uniform, yung sa babae long sleeve tapos necktie, yung pants at panda skirt na 3 inches above the knee, I guess. So, tapos black shoes, walang tig-isang pair ng earrings na walang X na nakalagay yan sa handbook. Yun yung mga example na para first step sa pag-enforce ng isang policy. Sunod, review or reading. The organization must be able to demonstrate that it disseminated the document in an intangible form, including the version for illiterate, non-English reading, and reading impaired employees. So, sa review and reading, ang example naman nito sa isang organization, magkakaroon sila ng team building kung saan dinidiscuss yung policies sa isang organization. Sa alam ko, every year ginagawa to sa isang company. Not sure. Yun, kailangan din yung maipaintindi mo yung policies sa mga illiterate o yung mga hindi nakakabasa or yung mga hindi nakakabasa ng English or may hirap sa pagbabasa or yung may mga disabilities na employees. Kailangan na hindi lang yung na normal na employees yung nakakaintindi ng policies na ipinatutupad sa isang organization. Dapat pati yung mga ini-include din nila yung mga employees na may mga kapansanan or may kakulangan sa pagbabasa, ganun. Yun, common techniques includes recordings of the policy, English and alternate languages. Next po. Pangatlo, comprehension or understanding. The organization must be able to demonstrate that the employee understood the requirements and content of the policy. Common techniques include quizzes and other assessments. Sa comprehension naman, yung nagbibigay sila ng after ng review, ng readings, magbibigay sila ng quizzes para malaman ba ng organization if naiintindihan ba ng employees yung mga policies na ipinatutupad nila. Yun. Sunod naman. compliance or agreement, the organization must be able to demonstrate that the employee agreed to comply with the policy through act or affirmation. The common techniques include logon banners, which require a specification, mouse click, or keystroke to acknowledge agreement or sign document clearly indicating the employee has read, understood, and agreed to comply with the policy. So, yung best na example nito is yung terms and conditions pagdating sa apps. Yun, yung kahit na hindi mo binabasa, click lang. Yun. Pero dapat binabasa yun para alam mo kung ano yung laman, kung may mga um, nalalabag ba sa'yo, or may mga hindi ka ba naiintindihan pa din, or pwede mo pa siyang itanong bago ka pumirma or mag-agree dun sa policy na yun, sa policies na yun. So, uniform enforcement. The organization must be able to demonstrate that the policy has been uniformly enforced regardless of employee status or assignment. So, yung uniform enforcement, ito yung sasabi ko na kailangan fair sa lahat ng employees, regardless yung sa status mo or yung kung ano yung assignment mo sa isang organization. Kailangan sumunod ka sa policies na ipinatutupad ng organization. For example, sa school, lahat ng guard, teachers, faculty members, students, nagsusuot ng IDs. So, yun yung example ng policies. Uniform enforcement.
Okay, Angela.
Uniform enforcement.
Okay, Angela, do you remember yung nag-film viewing tayo with regards dun sa internship?
Po?
Do you remember when we watch a movie, yung internship? Nag-film viewing tayo last time.
Opo.
So,
Opo, sir.
There is a part na ino-orient nila yung mga employee nila. Yung meron silang hawak na signage na yes or no. Sabi doon sa mga questions, do you date a co-employee? Magde-date ka ba daw ng co-employee? Tapos yes or no. Natatandaan niyo yan. So those are example of policies na sinasabi nila, pinapaintindi nila sa kanilang mga empleyado. Kasi pag hindi naintindihan ng empleyado yung mga policies, therefore, hindi mo yan pwedeng ma-reinforce. Hindi mo yan pwedeng maintulak. Now, ang tanong, bakit natin pinag-aaralan itong enforcement or pag-create ng policy? Kasi remember, after you create a system, gagawa ka ng policy. And this policy, kailangan ma-disseminate mo. Hindi kasi natin pwedeng i-force sila na gawin ito sa system natin kung hindi natin may disseminate. Kailangan makalat natin sa lahat ng mga user na ganito dapat ang ginagawa. And sabi din ni Angela doon sa slides niya, review. Kailangan yung policy na ginawa natin, pinabasa. Nababasa ng mga tao na gagamit ng system natin. And the other one is comprehension. Hindi porket nabasa, alam mo na na-inform sila. Kailangan comprehension na intindihan. So, pwedeng gumawa ka daw ng quiz or other assessment. Kaya yung iba, ginagamit na pang training ang LMS kasi nandun yung mga policies na pinatutupad ng isang company. For us who are developer, meron din tayong policy na i-create para sa system natin, and we will make sure that the policy is they understand the policy. So, bibigay tayo ng quiz or assessment para ma-sure natin na naintindihan nila na ganito. Compliance, ibig sabihin, kailangan masunod nila kung ma-demonstrate natin yung pagsunod. Then, do sa last part nung sinasabi ni Angela, uniform enforcement, baka kasi mataas yung posisyon, tas importante yung posisyon, pero hindi niya ginagawa ang mag-back up, paparusahan ba natin to? Definitely, dapat. Kasi kasama sa policy yon. So, hindi tayo namimili. Porket boss ka, porket boss yung hindi sumusunod sa pagbaback up, hindi na natin Hindi na siya makakatikim ng restitution or liability na papasunod din natin siya. Kailangan fair ang treatment. Okay, so proceed tayo dun sa next slide. So Angela, the mic is yours. Audio.
Nakamute ka.
Sir, sa civil law po muna. Sa unahan po. Pangalawa na po yan.
Okay, sorry.
Types of law. Civil law comprises a wide variety of laws that govern a nation or state and deal with the relationship and conflicts between organization, entities, and people. Yung civil law, siya yung body of laws. Siya yung distinct ng distinct law na regulating criminal, political, and military matters. So, sa civil law, nakapaloob sa kanya yung criminal, political, and military. Tapos, while sa criminal law, addresses activities and conduct harmful to society and it's actively enforced by the state. Sa criminal law naman, nakafocus siya by dealing with the criminal offenses and their punishments. So, ang pagkakaiba nilang dalawa, yung civil law, siya yung pinaka-body of laws. Then sa criminal law, siya yung bahala sa criminal offenses and punishments about doon. So, next po. Next po, sir.
Ito na. Private loss na.
Law can also be categorized as private or public. Private law compasses family law, commercial law, and labor law, and regulates the relationship between individuals and organizations. So, yung sa private law, para siya sa short, small group. Naka-focus lang siya sa family, sa commercial, and sa labor law between a person and organization. While sa public law, regulates the structure and administration of government agencies and their relationship with the citizens, employees, and other governments. Sa public law naman, yung nakakaapekto siya sa buong society. Yung public law para siyang sa civil law kasi it includes the criminal, administrative, and constitutional law. Yan. Next po. Relevant of US laws. Sa United States, yung pinaka-naging leader sa pagdating sa development and implementation ng information security. So, para na rin ma-prevent yung misissue and exploitation of information and information technology. Yung mga sumusunod na slides about nito sa mga batas na na-enforce ng United States, lahat ng mga susunod ko i-report, puro US laws yun. So, start na po tayo. Next po. So, General Computer Crime Laws. Computer Fraud and Abuse Act of 1986, CFA Act, is the cornerstone of many computer-related federal laws and enforcement efforts. It was amended in October 1996 by the National Information Infrastructure Protection Act of 1996, which modified several sections of the previous act and increased the penalties for the selected crimes. The punishment for the offense prosecuted under this statute varies from fines to imprisonment up to 20 years or more, or both. The The severity and the penalty depends on the value of the information obtained and whether the offense is judged to have been committed. Number one, for purpose of commercial advantage. Two, for private financial gain. Third, and number three, in the furtherance of the criminal act. So, dun muna tayo sa kung ano yung computer fraud. Computer fraud is is a cybercrime that is using computer to alter electronic data or to gain use or to gain unlawful use. So, yung fraud sa Tagalog. So, yung computer fraud, isa siyang illegal activity na pwedeng mag-alter or damage and disable the other parties' data or computers. Ganun. Na naging cornerstone para magawa tong batas na to. So, yung other definitions ng computer fraud is the prohibit intentionally accessing of computer without authorization or in excess of authorization. So, sinasabi lang sa batas na to na pwede kang makulong if you intentionally access and alter someone's information or data. Ganun. Pag napatunayan, pwede kang makulong ng 20 years or more. Then may fines din para sa mga gantong pag nahuli. So, magpahuli. Next slide po. The previous law, along with the many the previous law, along with many others, was further modified by the USA Patriot Act of 2001, which provides many enforcement agencies with broader latitude in order to combat terrorism-related activities. So, yung USA Patriot Act of 2001 is also related sa Computer Fraud and Abuse Act of 1986. Pero mas na-modified at mas na-modify dito at mas nag-focus sa paglaban sa terrorism-related activities. And in 2006, this act was amended by the U.S. Patriot Improvement and Reauthorization Act, which made permanent 14 to 6 of the 16 expanded powers of the Department of Homeland Security and FBI investigating terrorist activity. So, noong 5 years after, na-amend ulit yung US Patriot Act of 2001 at naging US Patriot Improvement and Authorization Act na kung saan na mas pinalawig na yung kapangyarihan ng Department of Homeland Security at ng NBI sa pag-iimbestiga ng terrorist activities. The Act also reset the date of expiration written in the law as so-called sunset clause for certain wiretaps under the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act of 1978 or FISA. The revised many of the criminal penalties and procedures associated with the criminal and terrorist activities. So, yung sinasabi na yung US Budget Improvement and Reauthorization Act na-reset yung expiration date at pinalitan ng sunset clause. So, yung sunset clause is yung batas na yon by certain year mateterminate pero pwedeng i-extend kung ma-amend ulit yung law. And Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act of 1978 nag-revise to ng mga criminal penalties. Sir, sa taas po. Nag-revise ng mga criminal penalties and procedures. So, katulad lang din yan ng sa mga criminal na nag-i-improve sila, nagbabago sila ng way, nadadagdagan yung mga way nila kung paano sila makapag-gather ng data, na dumadating na yung iba't ibang cybercrimes. So, ganun din sa batas na nire-revise or nagdadagdag ng mga criminal penalties sa mga cyber criminals. Ganun. Yung kunwari na noong 1978 na 4,000 lang ang fines sa mahuhuli. Ngayon, pwede na siya siguro ng mga 100,000. So ang sinasabi lang dito na nasa batas na nagbabago din siya, depende din sa currency. Sa 4,000 siguro nung 1978 is 4,000, medyo malaking halaga pa. Pero ngayon, ang 4,000 lumilipad lang. So, mas nag-revise sila para na din siguro matakot, ganun, magkaroon ng takot yung mga criminals para sa gumawa sila ng kalokohan. So, next po. Hello? Next po. Computer Security Act of 1987 was one of the first attempts to protect federal computer system by establishing minimum acceptable security practices. The National Bureau of Standards and Cooperation with the National Security Agency is responsible for developing these security standards and guidelines. So, yung Computer Security Act of 1987, yun yung first attempt to protect yung federal computers. Yung ibig sabihin ng federal, relating yon sa central government of US. Pakitandaan na lang kasi maraming beses mababanggit yung federal. So, yung batas na to, yun yung parang naging first step nila kung paano nila mapapaliit yung pag-accept ng security practices para katulong na din nun ng National Bureau of Standards and National Security Agencies na siyang responsible sa pag-create ng security standards and guidelines. Next po. So next, privacy, one of the hottest topic in one of the hottest topic in information security at the beginning of 21st century. The ability to collect information on individual combines facts from the separate sources and merge it with another information has resulted in databases of information that were previously impossible to set up. The pressure for privacy protection, privacy protection, the number of statuses addressing an individual's right to privacy has grown. However, in this context, privacy is not absolute freedom from observation, but rather is more precise state of being free from unsanctioned intrusion. So, yun, privacy, so medyo naging hottest topic siya. So, kasi lahat naman siguro gumagamit ng social media, yung bawat website na yun nakakakuha ng information about us. Sa taas po, sir. Ng information about us. So, nagiging issue siya kasi paano na ang nasa isip ng tao kung paano sila nakakasiguro na yung information nila is private or may privacy. So, ang sinasabi na yung privacy is not absolute freedom from observation. So, it's more precise to be state of being free from unsanctioned intrusion. So, parang ang sabi sa parang pinapaliwanag na may freedom yung user sa pagbibigay ng information niya dahil sa unsanctioned intrusion. Parang na may freedom ka dahil sa may kailangan ng official permission ng permission sa iyo para yung sa privacy mo. Diba may mga may tawag sa may mga prompt na nagtatanong if kung gusto mo ba na kung i-approve mo ba na na yung Facebook na mabuksan yung gallery mo para makapag-post ka ng picture or makapag-upload ka ng panibagong profile picture. Nagtatanong muna sila nagtatanong muna sila, nanghihingi muna sila ng consent bago sila kumilos. So, next po. So, one technology that has proposed in the past was intended to monitor or track the private communication known as Clipper chip. It used an algorithm with two-part key that was to be managed by two separate government agencies, and it was reportedly designed to protect individuals' communication while allowing the government to decrypt suspect transmissions. So, yung Clipper chip, dun sa picture, parang chip siya, yan. Ano siya, example, kaming dalawa ni Aubrey nag-uusap sa telepono, tapos si Daniel yung Clipper chip. So, yung pinag-uusapan naming dalawa ni Aubrey, nakukuha ni Daniel. Naiintindihan ba? So, yung para ginawa to para sa para ma-decrypt kung may nagulat ako. para ma-decrypt yung para ma-decrypt kung may possible terrorist attacks or parang may yun nga yung terrorist attacks kung may nagpa-plan ba na gumawa ng pag-atake sa isang lugar na may nag-uusap na tungkol na nagpa-plano ganun. So this technology was focused on discussion between advocates for personal privacy and seeking to enable more effective law enforcement. So, yung technology na to, yun nga, nagkaroon ng discussion about nung laban sa advocates for personal privacy dahil nga nalalamag yung personal space ng isang tao dahil parang nakikipag-usap ka tapos merong nakakarinig nung pinag-uusapan niya, parang hindi na yung privacy mo nawawala doon. Tapos yung Clipper chip, hindi siya na-implement sa US government. Pero hindi ko alam kung Clipper chip din tawag doon. Pero sa North Korea, maraming listening devices, bugs na nakakabit na halos lahat ng sulok ng, for example, sa isang hotel, kung magbubook ka ng flight tapos pupunta ka ng hotel, lahat ng sulok ng kwarto na yon may bugs, may listening devices para malaman kung may spy ba o nagpaplano ng attacks sa North Korea. Ganun sila kahigpit.
Okay, for the next session, okay, we'll be back at 1:30 para pahingahin muna natin yung reporter para makainom ng tubig kasi mahirap din magsalita ng dire-diretso. So, we will be back at 1:30. So, pahinga muna, coffee break para meron lang tayo ilang minutes. Tapos stretch. Okay? So, as of now, galing-galing ng reporter natin at mukhang pinag-aralan talaga ang law. Pwede na siyang mag-attorney. So, see you mamaya 1:30. Okay? Bye, guys.